Today I'm going to show you how to change spark plugs on a 1995 Jeep Wrangler. Now you're going to want to change your spark plugs every 100,000 miles. I just rolled over to 100,000, so I figured it'd be a good time to change them. For the tools you'll need the spark plugs for your vehicle, a ratchet extension, and a 3/8 inch spark plug socket. The first thing you need to do is find the coil and then follow each coil wire to the spark plugs. On newer vehicles, each spark plug will have its own coil. As you can see here, the coils are now the black pieces on the side of the motor. Now onto the process of removing the spark plug. First, you'll have to remove the coil wire. Then, you'll have to unscrew the spark plug from the engine block. Sometimes the spark plugs can be really hard to get out, and you'll have to be careful not to break them off in the engine block. I was really lucky and mine were super easy to get out. Once you get your spark plugs out and you give it a quick smell and it smells like gas, that means your spark plugs aren't burning all the fuel, which means your spark plugs are going bad. Now once you get your first spark plug out, you can compare it to your new ones to make sure you got the right spark plugs. Now when you're putting your spark plug back in, you want to make sure you don't put it too tight, because otherwise you're never going to get it out again if you have to check it or change them again for some reason. Now when you put your coil wires back on, you want to make sure you put them back on the right spark plug so you don't mess up your firing order of the engine. Now I sped the rest of this up just because I didn't want it to get boring for you. It's just the same process over and over 4 different times, and it's just as easy as that.
Memory lane up in the headlights. It's got me reminiscing on them good times. I'm turning off a real life driving, that's right. I'm hitting easy street on mud tires. Back in the day, Potts Farm was a place to go. Load the truck up, hit the dirt road, jump the barbed wire, spread the word, light the bonfire and call the girls. King and the can and the Marlboro man, Jack and Jim were a few good men where you learn how to kiss and cuss and fight too. Better watch out for the boys in blue and all this small town he said, she said. Ain't it funny how rumors spread like I know something y'all don't know? Man, that talk is getting old. You better mind your business, man, watch your mouth before I have to knock that loud mouth out. I'm tired of talking, man, y'all ain't listening. Them old dirt roads is what y'all miss. I'm chilling on a dirt road, laid back swerving like I'm George Jones. Smoke rolling out the window and ice cold beer sitting in the console. Memory lane up in the headlights. It's got me reminiscing on them good times. I'm turning off a real life driving, that's right. I'm hitting easy street on mud tires.
Now if you look at the black ends of the spark plug, all that black is carbon buildup from burning the fuel in the engine. When all that carbon gets on the end of the spark plug, it makes it really hard for the spark plug to spark, which means it's harder for the spark plug to ignite all the fuel in the cylinder. Okay, now let's recap the tools and the process of changing your spark plugs. For the tools, you'll need a ratchet extension, a 3/8 inch spark plug socket, and the spark plugs for your vehicle. For the process, you'll need to find the coil, then follow the coil wires to where the spark plugs are. Then you'll need to remove the spark plug, put the new spark plug in, and put the coil wire back on the plug. Now, if you're replacing plugs on a vehicle with individual coils, then you'll need to first remove all the individual coils to replace the spark plugs. This is my dad's 2014 F-150. If you're going to change spark plugs in a newer vehicle, like really new, you better have a whole afternoon set out for this project, because you're going to have to remove covers and all kinds of shields and everything else just to get down to the spark plugs. Then once you get to the spark plugs, you have to remove your coils, and then you'll finally be to your spark plugs. Then you'll have to put it all back on when you're done. Thank you so much for watching my video on how to change spark plugs. I had a lot of fun making this video, so I hope you have fun changing your spark plugs.